Hi, I'm Swarupa Sail, course instructor for Geotechnical Engineering 1. In this presentation, we will learn about effect of compaction on soil properties. Effect of compaction on various soil properties studied are: first one, soil structure; second is permeability; next is shrinkage and swelling, compressibility, pore pressure, stress strain characteristic, and shear strength. Here we can see that there is a graph which is drawn for dry density versus water content. The curve which is shown in yellow color is for the test results of low compactive effort, that is, it may be for standard Proctor test, and on top we have a curve for the test results of high compactive effort, that is, it may be for the test results of modified Proctor test. Here on left hand side we can see that the structure of the soil is flocculated, or particles are arranged in random manner, and as we move towards OMC we can find intermediate structure, and on right hand side we can observe dispersed structure of particles. The left hand side is referred to as dry side, which is towards the left of OMC, and the portion which is on right hand side of OMC is referred to as wet side. Soil compacted at a water content less than OMC has got flocculated structure, and soil compaction more than OMC will have usually dispersed structure. When the compaction efforts are increased, there is corresponding increase in the orientation of the soil particles, due to which density will be high. Now we will find out what is dry of compaction and wet of compaction. When the soil is drier than optimum compaction of soil, then it is called dry of compaction. These soil need more compaction. And when soil is wetter than optimum compaction of the soil, then it is called wet of compaction. These soil need less water supply and compaction. Next property is permeability. Permeability of soil depends on size of the voids. As water content increases, there is an improved orientation of soil particles, which results in the reduction of size of the voids and also permeability. If compactive effort is increased, the permeability decreases due to increase in dry density of the soil. Next we will find out what is effect of swelling and shrinkage. When soil is compacted to dry of optimum, the soil is in need of water and it has tendency to absorb more water. Hence, it swells easily when water is added to it. So, in order to avoid swelling, the soil should be compacted to wet of optimum. On dry side, we can observe that there will be higher swelling potential. Next is effect of shrinkage. The soil compacted wet of optimum shrinks more. Hence, we say that it has higher shrinkage potential. Next property is compressibility. Compressibility of compacted soil varies with amount of pressure applied to it. Compressibility is more for soils which are compacted to dry of optimum than soil compacted to wet of optimum for high pressure range. Whereas compressibility is more for soils which are compacted to wet of optimum than soil compacted to dry of optimum for low pressure range. Next property is pore pressure. Here we can see there are soil particles and gap between them is filled with water. And this water will try to exert pressure in all the directions over these soil particles. So this pressure is referred to as pore water pressure, and it is high for those soils whose water content is more. Hence, soils compacted to wet of optimum will exhibit more pore water pressure than soil compacted dry of optimum. Next property is stress strain characteristic. Here we can see a graph which is drawn for deviator stress versus axial strain. On top is the curve for dry compacted soil, and down we can find wet compacted soil. The sample compacted dry of optimum will produce steeper stress strain curve with peak at low strain, and strength and modulus of elasticity of this soil is high, and there will be brittle failure in case of these soils. And the soil compacted wet of optimum will produce a flatter stress strain curve with increase in stress even at high strain. So there will be continuous deformation with increase in stress. The modulus of elasticity for this soil is low, and there will be plastic failure. Next property is shear strength. Shear strength is the soil's resistance against shear load before it fails in shear. So here we can see a retaining wall. This retaining wall would not have failed if the shear stress was such that it is less than the shear strength of the soil. But here we can see that the retaining wall has failed because the shear stress along the failure surface has reached the shear strength of the soil. Shear strength of cohesive soil compacted dry of optimum will be higher than those compacted wet of optimum. And here we can see a graph which is drawn for shear stress versus normal stress. Normal stress is the stress which is applied perpendicular to the area under consideration, whereas shear stress is applied parallel to the area under consideration. And when we draw a curve for shear stress versus normal stress, we get a straight line, and we observe that the vertical intercept of this line with vertical axis gives us the value of cohesion C, and its inclination with respect to horizontal axis will give us the value of phi. So similarly, we get the value of C and phi for wet side of soil. So by observing these two lines, we can say that there is high value of C and Phi for dry side soil compared to that of wet side. More the value of C and Phi, more will be the shear strength. So hence we say that for the soil compacted at dry side of optimum, shear strength will be more as C and Phi are more. Next is we will find out the differences between dry side of optimum and wet side of optimum depending on the properties of the soil. For dry side soil, structure of the soil is more random, and for wet side it is more oriented in parallel form. Permeability is more for dry side and it is less for wet side. Dry side soil is more compressible in high pressure range and wet side is more compressible even at low pressure range. Dry side soil swells more as there will be higher water deficiency and hence it absorbs more water. For wet side, shrinkage is more. Strength of wet side soil is more compared to that of wet side soil. Here we can see a construction of embankment, and highway embankment is compacted dry of optimum to achieve high strength, low volume compressibility and good resistance to deformation. This is what is earth dam, which is compacted at 1 to 2.5% less than optimum moisture content, which we obtain by lab test results to reduce pore pressure development. These are the different layers of the pavement. This is what is subgrade, that is soil. Next is subbase layer, base layer, and this is concrete pavement, that is a road. So cohesive subgrades under pavements are compacted wet of optimum to eliminate swelling and swelling pressure upon submergence. This is the core of earthen dam, which is the impervious fill, and it is compacted on wet side to achieve low permeability, greater safety against cracking due to differential settlement. Thank you.